Okay, so they're talking Bivol, Beterbiev next. I mean, I got to tell you, picking up on what I said earlier, if Beterbiev looked like he was maybe slowing down a step, or if Yarde looked just better than we expected, after watching the fight, I think I lean much heavier towards Bivol winning that fight.
Well, he's slowing down. No, like I said earlier, Ken, he's slowing down.
Am I seeing that correctly?
He's cutting up easier, and he's 38 years old. He's had 300 amateur fights, as I said earlier. A lot of tough fights in the pros. Listen, he's he's aging. Nobody beats Father Time.
After the fight this weekend, I know you had Bivol with a slight advantage. After the fight against Yarde, do you have Bivol as a bigger favorite or closer to even after this latest outing from Beterbiev?
I never will rule out Beterbiev. He's got power.
Completely
he's got
agree.
character.
But if you had to make a
he's
line,
got pride.
Before and after.
Listen, I got Bivol. I got Bivol a solid favorite for me.
Yeah,
my line's going to be different than someone else's, but for me,
yep.
I got him a solid favor. That I'll go all the way out, like I always go all the way out on the limb. I mean, I'm not going to stop now at this point in my life. I think I think there's a good chance he stops him late in the fight, either by cuts or by just an endless barrage of punches where, Beterbiev he's not a defensive wizard, right? I think that's fair. Where there'll be a steady barrage of combinations where finally the referee would probably have to stop it, or his corner would have to stop it. I think there's a chance that the fight could go down that kind of road where that could be what you wind up seeing. If the fight ever happens, I think that it definitely could go that way. I think the jab would be important. Obviously, Bivol's going to use that jab. I think the jab, we should not underestimate the jab of Beterbiev. It's very hard. It's like a foam pole. George Foreman had a foam pole jab. Well, I think then, let me hit this. I think that... yes, I have a fax machine, you guys. I am a caveman.
More importantly than having a fax machine, yes, I have a fax machine, and no, I don't know how to turn it off.
I don't know. I think I do, and I don't. And I need help. People out there, if you haven't noticed, I need help. I need help in a lot of areas. I really do. Thank God for my family. Thank God for Ken. Thank God for Rob, for Ian, for Brennan, for all my team, for Sam here in front. I need help. But I do know something about boxing. I'll get back to that where I can help myself in that area. And in that area, I would say do not dismiss the importance of the jab. Like I said, George Foreman had a foam pole jab. Well, Beterbiev it's not as long as big and long as a foam pole, but it's a shorter version of a sledgehammer. He's got a hard, accurate jab. He would have to use that to keep Beterbiev, just to keep him honest, to keep him from dominating the outside, which is what he's going to try to do, to keep him from pot-shotting him too much, which is what he's going to wind up doing if he gets his way, to keep a little control of that geography, or try to control that geography, that space, the best that he can early on. And he's going to have to go to the body. He's going to have to find a way to get close enough to go to the body of Bivol. And Bivol's going to do what he does. He's going to control range. He's going to be consistent. That's the key. He's going to be consistent. He's going to be mentally consistent, which most fighters against Beterbiev, they're not. They get intimidated. They get broken down. They get dissipated. They get evaporated. He's not going to get evaporated. That's the key. That's the big thing. That really is the big thing with him. Like I said earlier, he's a Terminator too, but he's a Terminator, that's more sophisticated. He turns into liquid metal. And I think he'll use his legs as much as he has to, but to the point where not too much. He'll be set. He'll use his legs, but more to get ahead of Beterbiev, to get out there, to control the range, to get out where he creates space, where he can then catch Beterbiev, make him pay a price for the real estate he's going to have to try to make up, and be set to punch. So he won't move too much. He'll be moving, but he'll be set to punch at the same time, and being able to have offense. A lot of guys move and they survive against Beterbiev, but they can't win because they're not able to create offense moving that much. But the thing about Bivol, he will move and at the same time be able to create offense along the way while he's doing it without giving up defense. And that's important. That's important, what I just said there. I don't know if the fight will happen, but because there's a guy named Canelo in the mix there that will probably try to get Bivol to come down to 168, which I would hate to see happen. I would hate to see happen. He's a light heavyweight. Don't make him come down there for the money, and they probably will. But that's going to compromise him a little bit if he's got to come down there for the money at 168. I want to see Canelo he's got the pride. He wants to make up for that loss. All right, fight him at the weight that he is, that you fought him the first time when you underrated him. All right, when you underrated him, you did. Fight him at his weight, which is 175, light heavyweight. Do that if you're going to do it. Or if you're not going to do that, stay at 168 and fight Benavidez. And then I'll take my hat off. I'll take my hat off to you. I really will if you do that. But don't say you're the best 168-pounder in the world even if you can't beat the other best 168-pounder in the world, a guy named Benavidez. So, and Benavidez, I know he's fighting Plant. I think he's going to go through Plant. I like Plant. But I just think that fight for Plant against Benavidez too big, too strong. He's also got a great amateur background, in his life, in his history, in his blood. I think that fight's going to be kind of like going down the shore, Ken. I know you go down the shore every once in a while. You go down the shore and you just sit there at the dock of the bay and you watch the high tide come in. I think that's what you're going to be watching in that fight. You're just going to be waiting to see when the high tide comes in. And maybe it's going to be 3, 4, 5 rounds, 6. But in that fight, Plant and Benavidez, the high tide's going to come in. The high tide's going to come. And when it comes in, what do? You get off the dock. You get off the dock, you go to your house. Well, guess what? Yeah, you get off the beach. Plant's gonna
to be washed away.
There it is. Plant's gonna get washed off the beach. That's the problem.
I hope he's gonna get washed. Like you said, we both
I
really
like
Caleb.
But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And
the truth is the truth.
And the truth is important in this business, in this world, and you don't get it all the time.
I know Caleb Plant, and if he hears this, and I know he will, and he should feel this way. Like, I'm going to prove you guys wrong, and I'm going to show you who I am.
Yeah, and good. I hope he does. Bring it, and I want him to. I want him to. Good, yep. Beautiful. I would like him to. But anyway, that's pretty much my 2 cents. 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents.
Sticking to it.
Yeah, well, that's my story. Like the great Jack Newfield, my friend who I miss every day. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.